Today we are going to be dyeing up some yarn, and I'm going to be using dye that I've already mixed up and I don't want to just pour down the drain. The colors that I'm going to be using are this magenta pink color. I know it kind of looks red here in this jar. Let me focus more. I know it kind of looks red in here, but it's magenta. I'll show you. Oops. This is what it looks like. It's like a magenta pink, and I'm going to dilute it with some water so that it looks more pale, because I want to go for like a more pastel watercolor look. And then I'm also going to be using this purple dye right here, and it already looks pretty pale on this paper towel, but I'm probably going to add more water to it to go for an even more pastel color. We'll see. And then last but not least, I'm going to do this yellowy color, which is kind of like a fluorescent yellow, but I'm going to dilute this as well to get a more pale look. So yeah, that's the colors that we're going to be dyeing with today. I feel like I'll probably end up using all of the purple for sure. I doubt that I'm going to use up all of the yellow and the pink, because I am going for a more diluted color, so it's going to make even more dye technically, but I'm going to use up some of it. So there's that. And the yarn that I'm dyeing is this right here. This is a 100% superwash merino yarn, and it's in a fingering weight. So this is the yarn that I'm dyeing. It's very squishy. I'm going to be dyeing 2 skeins of this. So yeah, let's get started. So I've just kind of been playing with the yarn and just getting it to fit in the pan. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put the yellow in the middle section, and then I'm going to put pink on this section and purple on this section. Yeah, I think that is what my plan of action is going to be, because, and I'm putting the yellow here because I feel like yellow is a very, well, I don't even know if I'm gonna have enough purple, honestly, for both of these skeins. I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some up to the 600, pour some water up to like 600, and then it's probably going to be very diluted, and if it's too diluted, then I might just pour some pink on top just to give it a little more color, but we'll see. And yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to dye the darker colors first, and then I'm going to do the yellow. So here's the pink, and I diluted it so much because it's so pigmented, this pink dye that I mixed up. So I'm gonna pour it. I'm so nervous. I always get nervous when I'm pouring dyes, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Ooh, I really like this color. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yeah, this is such a cute pink. It's like a very pastel bubblegum pink. Okay, I'm gonna need to make more of it. So I'm just gonna be using these tongs to kind of get the dye to disperse between all the strands on the front and the back of the yarn. Like so. Just gently moving it around because I don't want to disturb the yarn too much, and then it goes to this middle section that I'm trying to reserve for the yellow. Okay, I think I'm gonna pour a little bit more dye on the pink. I've also already added the acid to the dye, and by that I mean I added vinegar. I soaked the yarn. I have a big like glass container that I put yarn skeins in, and I will put water inside and also vinegar. And the reason for this is when you are dyeing animal fibers, you need an acid to make the dye adhere to the yarn. And so I pour some vinegar. I use vinegar. People also use citric acid, but honestly I think vinegar might be cheaper and easier for me to find, at least. So I just use regular household vinegar, white vinegar, and that works pretty well for me. So this already has the acid added to it. Okay, I'm gonna pour a little bit more. I don't know, I kind of like how this is looking. I think I might pour just a tiny bit more pink onto the yarn. Okay, this is the last of the pink that I'm pouring on. Yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna pour any more pink. I think that's good enough because it's starting to get a little bit too dark, although yarn does tend to look darker when it is wet, so I am keeping that in mind. Okay, now we're gonna do the purple, and I said that I was gonna just pour water up until the 1,000 mark, but I mean to the 600 mark, but I actually did the 1,000 mark, so I feel like this is gonna be super diluted, but let's see. It's also gonna add so much water to this, and I wanted it to kind of be like a low immersion. But yeah, let's just see how that works out. Ooh, okay. Yeah, this is a very, like, gonna be a very muted purpley look, which I am not mad at all. I'm just hoping that the yellow and the purple don't just leave enough so that there is that bit of yellowness in this middle section. I'm really hoping for that. Okay, all right, that purple worked out perfectly for me. This is, I barely used any of the pink dye. You see, this is like all that's left, and yeah, so much for finishing that up. And then this is the pink. Ooh, and then these are like the diluted versions of the pink. This is the diluted version of the pink, so I still have a ton of that left, so great. I mean, but at least I used up the purple, and I'm definitely not gonna use up all of the yellow, so there's that. But I'm just gonna let these cook for a little bit just because there's a ton of water in here already. I kind of want it to evaporate, and I also want some of the dye to set already. I'm gonna like work some of this purple dye into this section over here a little bit, and I'm just gonna move it around and try and move some of the fibers so I can get in between everything, get to the back and the front, because I don't want to flip this. I don't want to have to flip this. But so far I'm liking the colors. I'm so nervous. I hope the yellow goes as planned, or if it doesn't go as planned, I hope it turns out better. So yeah, I wonder what I can make with this. This is 200 grams of yarn. What can I make with 200 grams? I don't know. We'll see. if anything, I could just dye up more of this. Okay, I don't want to disturb this anymore because I don't want the dye to migrate too much to the middle, although it already is looking like it is, but let's not think about that, okay? So I'm just letting this kind of cook for a bit, and I'm going to try and remove some of the water, and it looks pretty clear, so that's good. There's a slight tinge of pink to it, but I think most of the dye is exhausting, which is good. I think I'm going to leave it for about 10 minutes, and maybe some of the water will evaporate and all of the dye will exhaust. Even if not as much water evaporates as I want it to, I can just remove some of it, and yeah, that'll work. So I'm just going to leave this alone, uncovered, so the water can hopefully evaporate a little. Okay, so I'm back, and I've actually flipped the pan because the way that my burners are set up, I feel like this side is more strong than the other side, so I wanted the purple to cook a little bit more, so I flipped it. So that's why it looks different than the other clips. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be removing some of the water from the pan, because yeah, I think there's a little too much water right now, and also I can tell if the dye has exhausted by doing that, which it has. This water is crystal clear, perfect. So that means that all the pink and the purple dye has exhausted. So I'm just gonna remove as much yarn as I can. As much water as I can from this pan. Okay. So this is actually how much of the pre-mixed yellow dye that I'm going to use, because I feel like this is going to be very dark already, even with just this little amount. Okay, so I filled it up to 300, and now I'm going to pour it. So nervous. Okay. Just, shoot, it's spreading. It's spreading. No, and it's so pigmented. Like I said, I wanted a more pastel yellow, but I mean, this yellow looks nice. I'm not gonna be upset about it, but yeah. And it's spreading a lot to the pink and stuff, which it'll be fine. It's no biggie. Yeah. Okay. Just gonna kind of pat it in here into this middle section. This is probably gonna look a little orangey, but that's fine. Trying to think, should I add a little more yellow? I kind of want to, but see, like I put like the slightest amount of the I put like such a small amount of the pre-mixed yellow dye, and look, it's so pigmented. And I was going more for a pastel, but who knows? Like I said, yarn is darker when it's wet, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more, like a little splash, a little squirt. And I just filled it up to 200, and I'm just gonna pour it on some of the whiter areas. Okay, there we go. I think that's it. I'm not gonna mess around with this anymore in terms of adding more yarn. I think that we're good on that. And yeah, just gonna let this cook for a bit, and then I'll have to leave it to dry, and I probably, if I put a fan on it, it'll probably dry by this afternoon. I think I'll do that. Otherwise, I'll have to wait to see the results tomorrow. Yeah, but we'll see. So, I think this is gonna come out. I think this is gonna be cute. I think this is cute. I'm already kind of liking the way that it looks. I'm trying to think, should I add more dye? Because the back of the yellow looks kind of pale, but honestly not too much. And wow, that yellow dye exhausted very fast. To add more, I said that I wasn't going to mess around with it. I did say that. Should I go back on my word? Oh, decisions. No, I'm not. It's okay. It's okay if there's a little white, because it's not like a whole big splotch. It's a very little section. But yeah, okay. I think this is fine. I think this looks good. And yeah, the yellow exhausted so fast. That was crazy. Look, the water is like clear already. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse the yarn, and then hang it to dry. And then hopefully it'll be dry by this afternoon and I can show you what it looks like before the end of the day. So yeah. Oh, and I hear my daughter. Uh-oh, perfect timing. All right, bye. I'm finally back to show you the end result of dyeing this yarn, which it's been like weeks since I dyed this yarn, and I actually even started editing the video, but I completely forgot. Who knows how long I would have like gone without remembering this yarn, because I didn't even realize that I had dyed this yarn until I saw it like peeking out in the corner of my office closet, and I was like, oh my gosh, what I don't remember dyeing this. And then I remember that I saw this like folder on my SSD drive that was called Pink, Yellow, and Purple, and I opened it up and it's like a half edited video, and all the memories come flooding back to me on this yarn, and it came out so cute. I don't know if you can really see it. Like, I think my lights are a bit too bright. I'm probably gonna insert some B-roll, like where you can better see this yarn, but it came out so pretty, and I'm glad that I at least dyed up 2 skeins. I don't know, yeah, I'm glad there's like at least 2 of these in the world, and there's probably no way for me to like exactly recreate this, because the dye that I was using is just like remnant dye, and I poured it all down the drain, so I don't even have like formulas for this. I mean, I could get something similar, like a pastel purple and pink and yellow, but I think they came out so cute. I'm definitely going to be putting these up on my shop. So if you want these, they are for purchase, and I'm pretty sure this is a fingering weight superwash merino, 100% merino wool. Pretty sure it's definitely wool. I'm not exactly sure. I'm pretty sure it's merino, but yeah, I will definitely insert like better clips of this, but I'm really proud of how this came out. I love how this looks. I think this is so cute. But it's, yeah, 2 100-gram skeins, so if you want this, you can get it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me dyeing up this yarn. There's gonna be many more videos like this to come, so if you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe and also like and comment. I would really appreciate it, because I would love to form a little fiber arts community with you all. Don't hesitate to give me any suggestions or criticisms. I don't mind. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.